What's up, everybody? This is Dave Nielsen of the Momentum Real Estate Advisors with Keller Williams. I am joined today by
Melissa Delana from Delana Law Office.
Perfect. I often refer to people smarter than me when I have questions that I don't understand, and Melissa is a person who's genuinely smarter than me. So I thought that a good question for somebody smarter than me would be about trusts. A lot of people have told me recently that they think it's a good idea to put their assets, especially real estate, into a trust. I know you have some opinions on that. Why don't you give me a pro or two on that?
Sure. So a trust is basically an entity that is separate and apart from you or me as an individual, where assets can be retitled into the trust, and then it will have an automatic survivorship, provided you are going to retitle it. So Dave, the example would be, God forbid, I pass away, my house is held in a trust, there is no need for probate administration because the trust survives, and the trust document will govern what's going to happen with respect to that asset after my death.
Perfect.
Avoiding probate really is one of the priorities of trust administration.
I was just going to say, I have two listings coming. One is as in a trust. We can list immediately because there's no probate, and one was not. So we've got to wait some time here.
Yes.
So that's one pro. Anything else that I need to know that's a good reason?
So other good reasons is also, successive planning, legacy planning, tax avoidance, Medicaid planning. So it really is kind of a unique area of law where you may actually need an elder care attorney depending on your age and what you're looking for as far as your needs. It's not to say that a trust is only right for someone who's aging, because it really is purposeful for even younger people who have a fair amount of assets.
Sure.
It is expensive to create a trust, so you just want to make sure that the juice is worth the squeeze.
That's something. So that's one con.
That is a con.
I did want to ask about cons as well. We talked about pros. You always got to talk about cons. So
yes.
What else?
So one of the major drawbacks is the cost associated with drafting and creating the trust agreement, and then making sure that you've retitled all the assets, because invariably people miss one. And if you've missed an asset, well, you may end up back in probate anyway because you missed something.
Right.
Another con that I hear a lot relative to real estate transactions are people saying, I don't even know why I bothered creating this trust, because it's an administratively more clunky process. There's more costs involved with us as attorneys to create trust deeds and the memorandums that go into it, and it can be difficult for them to even locate those documents, because a lot of times they get the binder, they put it on a shelf, now they're packing and moving, and they don't even realize that it's still in the trust. So they end up forgetting about that administrative difficulty, I guess.
Sure. Right. And I guess that's in retitling. If you miss something, I know the tree is kind
Sorry,
of like
I bumped the tree.
That's okay. The tree loves us, and we love the tree. So in terms of retitling, I own multiple properties. If I happen to miss one, like, oh my God, I own so many properties, I forgot one. Like that's, I say that sarcastically, but that's a thing that can happen.
Absolutely, it does happen.
Right. What do I do if that does happen?
So if that were to happen, that you were to miss one of the assets in retitling them into the trust, then essentially you're going to be right back to a probatable asset. So if you have 3 houses and you successfully retitled 2 of the houses and maybe passed away before you remembered the 3rd house, or bought it in your individual name and forgot to retitle it, some people will do that, then that 3rd property would end up as a probatable asset and has to go through the probate courts, which means hopefully, in addition to creating a trust, you had a will put in place, because a will will make the probate process a little bit simpler.
Awesome. So I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of pros, there's a lot of cons, probably
a lot
more,
of questions.
A lot of questions, and that's actually the next thing. So we're certainly not going to answer every possible question here in this video.
We don't have that kind of time.
We don't have that kind of time. You don't have 4 days to do this with me right now. So if somebody does have questions for you, I keep saying you're the person smarter. They don't want to call me, they want to call you.
And if I can help you, I will. If I can't, I'll be happy to refer you. But my office number is the best way to reach me, 401-885-3800.
Excellent. And if you do for some reason have questions for me, you can text me at 401-205-3456.